Blocks with Jeremy Bean.
Welcome. Another edition, another episode of Creative Blocks with me, Jeremy Beam. Here this week with this guy, comedian, host of Hats Off, Gloves Off,
Wow.
good friend,
So kind.
Mitchell Phillips.
Hey, oh my gosh.
Welcome, man.
How you doing?
Welcome
Phillips.
again.
At Mitchell Phillip.
Already given. Follow him. We're already
Yeah,
jumping straight to
we're pretty
the,
conjoined.
Yeah. Any tours coming up? We're just gonna go ahead and get into that.
No, you can
Any dates?
Yeah, no. Follow me, and I'll be all around the central southern part
Yeah.
of the San Fernando Valley.
Yeah, we do it backwards here. All right, man. Welcome again. You know, I've actually had Mitchell on before,
Round two.
and he was actually helping me test this out in a few months ago on a pilot.
I'm a success story. I was a
So-
guinea pig that survived.
Yeah.
Science.
Yeah. So
And I'm
welcome back,
back
man.
to tell the tale.
So Creative Blocks. You know this game. Every week, we break down creative blocks, whether that's strategies or difficulties
Love
that you
the
might
idea.
have. Yeah.
Love it.
While playing with Legos.
Yeah.
That you see around you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So
You're
some
definitely. It's also not only like is it a fun podcast to do, but you make me want like. We talked about this before we recorded. That it makes me upset that my parents didn't love me because
Yeah.
I would also have liked to play with your Legos when I was playing with Legos.
At the core of this podcast, it's really getting to know my guests and their childhood and how either neglected or privileged they were, you know? So let's get into that. So your
Shoot.
parents didn't love you, right?
Shoot, there we go. We're getting all right.
So we've got some changes since the last time you've been on, man. Your little pink bin, my yellow bin here.
Yeah.
These are the really small pieces that'll get lost in this bin of big pieces.
Yeah, of course. They sink to the bottom like chips.
Exactly, man. And the microphone loves digging through this bin looking for a little one piece. You got your basis, and then this lovely lady here contains all of our little Lego guys. The icing on the cake.
Well, I don't like that he's on your side then.
That she is.
Can-
Hey, man,
can we
she
get that?
floats.
Can we get that more central?
Yeah, she floats.
There we
she
go.
moves. Her
I
head's
like that.
yeah,
I like that.
it's over there. You know.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, just,
Code word potatoes. When I say pass the potatoes.
pretty much you're gonna free build.
All right.
the
Yeah, for
entire
sure.
Time.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab a base.
All right, we're
and
starting.
jump right- Yeah, man, just start building.
All right. I'm gonna be up
So-
front. I feel bad. I cheated. I was picking through, and I already found some prime pieces.
Dude, that's fine, man.
I don't want to break the fourth wall.
Apparently, I mean, the guest I've had, it's been, their first experience ever. Have you played with Legos? I know you. Were you ever invited to friends
Yeah.
that had Legos? I know
No,
you said
I
you
was
didn't have
like,
them, but-
I'm a young kid in like an older family. I'm on the younger side.
Yeah.
So I never had a Lego set. I don't think my brother had a couple. I don't think I ever had like where I never took Legos out of like new packaging, but I had
Oh,
tons
yeah.
of Legos. It was always just like these bins. It's just a mismatch. Like there's a boat and then like some red pieces and then a piece of a spaceship.
You never knew the source. There's
Yeah, exactly.
like, I'd see the boat and think of a pirate set I had as a kid.
Yeah, like a Viking ship.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is wonderful. But for me, it was more just like, I guess the Vikings are landing in an alien planet,
Right.
and half of their ship is different colors. But that's the world you grow up in. It's like when you go to a bad neighborhood and like you rarely see cars that are all the same color. It's just like a white hood or a green door.
A mismatched
Yeah,
driver's side door.
yeah. All of our cars always had one color. I'm proud to say that.
Oh, man, that's good. Same here. You didn't have a mismatched door?
We were poor, but we had class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
So where are you from?
I was born in Bakersfield, California.
That's like the Kentucky of California here, man. So
It's the southernmost point of the San Joaquin Valley. So like when the ocean used to be higher or lower, I don't know. Anyway, when the water comes in through like San Francisco Bay, it used to be, there was a inland sea. That's why it's so fertile. Like most of the nation's vegetables come from the San Joaquin Valley, and Bakersfield's the southernmost city. It's I don't know. It's a hub. Outside
Yeah.
of like LA and San Francisco, in California you have like your Fresno, your Bakersfield, your
what's it a hub for besides meth?
Oh dude, Jesus. Korn is from there. Buck Owens.
The band Corn with the K, or
yeah,
just
they have a
Corn with the C.
They have a street named after him, and the R is backwards on the
funny.
street sign. It's pretty sick.
It's funny, man.
Yeah, but I'm from I'm actually from Tehachapi, California, which is 40 minutes. I don't know how many miles from Bakersfield, but the hospital couldn't deliver babies because it's that small of a town, so they had to drive
So you
my
had to go
mom
to the
to
next city over.
Yeah, we had to go to the nearest city with a decent modern medical facilities, and I don't know. It's not that small of a town. It's like 13,000, 2 hours from Los Angeles, so it's not that crazy and out of the way. But we're known for our carrots and our apples.
That's cool. So I see you've yet to start building anything with your Legos.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's going to be one of those,
It's
man.
hard. You shed the layers because I'm thinking about both. I think I'm going to go for a crossing of worlds like I was talking about.
Because you've got a nice base here started, but that's all you've got started.
All right, chill out. I didn't know I was going to be berated. That'll work. What are you working on?
I don't know, man. You know, I just let it flow.
Oh, okay.
I'm like a Bob Ross over here.
Okay, don't take the hippie angle after you just fucking berated me. Fucking idiot, hasn't even done anything. I don't know, I'm just kind of a chill guy. I don't really.
Hey, brother, listen.
Hey, man, quit throwing stones at my glass house.
I invite you into my studio.
Bruh.
By the way, man, thank you for helping me set up this new
Oh, yeah.
studio.
It's also hard to be entertained together when we've been together for a few hours.
Yeah, guys. I mean, so as said up front, you host the Hats Off. What's that podcast you host? Hats Off, Gloves Off.
Hats Off, Gloves Off podcast. Don't
What
act like you don't know.
Yeah, actually,
Super producer.
I produce it.
Jeremy
so it's
Beam.
one of the other ones I produce. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
It's it's my baby. It's my love child. I had it with a slave, and I'm embarrassed of it. So it won't have my legacy or my will, but it'll have my spirit and my genetics.
Yeah, I mean, it is a mixed baby.
It is. It is a mixed race baby, which everybody knows are beautiful, and you guys should check out. What we do is we bash people. That's a gloves off. Ding, ding, ding. And that deserve it, and we give hats off to people that deserve it. So we're positive and negative. We do like good news. We spread positive stories, people that deserve it, and then we also take people down a peg that deserve it.
And up until now, it's been audio only, but the studio you see before you is now going to be Hats Off, Gloves Off.
That
too.
is correct.
So you guys can see that on their YouTube channel soon.
Upon the what is it? What attempt is this?
19th, at least.
But I think this is promising. I
think
we've
we've officially built a Netflix studio in a living room.
It's
Come at me, Hollywood.
yeah. We just need a waterfall with inside of like a break room to really sell the aesthetic.
We've got interns and everything, man.
Here, I'm just gonna. You know what?
You scratching your.
No, I've got a nice base going. I'm the motivation kicked in. I was just wheeling, and it's good enough now that I know where that's going. So I just want to develop the landscape once.
Fair
more.
enough, man. It's good to see productivity. This one seems it's gonna be like you said. It shuts down. You're either focused on the Legos, or you're focused on the interview.
Next question. I don't give a shit, dude. I'll fucking
Come
fight
at
somebody.
me, bro. Man, okay, creative blocks. You know, so you are a stand-up comedian. You identify as a stand-up comedian.
Not yet fully. I still have a problem with that because it doesn't pay my rent.
No, not yet. But you're working on it.
Yeah, I'm an aspiring comedian.
Aspiring.
In
young
this capacity,
comedian.
at this outlet, yes, I am a comedian, Mitchell Phillips.
Well, good. So an interesting thing I want to note is you used to live at the former Marty's Open Mic, which
Yeah, the
for those who don't
infamous.
know, it was a open mic comedy club that ran pretty much 365 days a year somehow. And Marty, the man who
It's like
ran
363.
363. Marty, the man who ran it, allowed 3 lucky comedians to live inside the walls of this club. And Mitchell was fortunate enough to be one of them.
Yeah, those are all true things. Sorry, I'm focused on finding a skinny piece. But yeah, no, it was hell. I think it was a net positive, all in all. But there was I had to deal with one of my roommates wanted to stab me for 6 months. And it was literally, and I've been deserving of stabbings. I've been in confrontations. I get myself in too deep sometimes. Sometimes I don't get myself deep enough, to be honest with you. But this guy was a legit psychopath. Go to the Hats Off, Gloves Off and listen to our Marty's tribute episode when Marty's closed down, and we'd refer to the guy as Voldemort the whole time. The guy was a legit psychopath, and he wanted to kill me, but he was a pussy.
He ruined our Game of Thrones premiere.
How so?
Didn't he?
How so?
Oh wait, never mind. Different.
Oh
person.
no. He ate.
He did. He ate a cake.
Yeah, somebody made comic Tim McGorry. His girlfriend made him a wolf cookie, the biscuit from like I don't know, like somewhere in the middle, like season 3 or 4 of Game of Thrones. It's prominent fucking I don't know, a scene or whatever. Nice little Easter egg. But anyway, his girlfriend made that to him. He came straight to the club and put it in the fridge in the back, and then Sam Pick ate the entire thing. It was made of like biscuit dough. It was like hard as fuck. It was like a southern biscuit you would like put gravies on, wait for it to get soggy before you dug in. He ate an entire. It was like a square foot of fucking of a cooked biscuit, and he ate the whole thing. And he's like, "I thought that was for me."
That's insane.
He's just a psychopath. One of my roommates is a what's his name? Josh Meyerowitz. Sorry, Josh. Who I love, and he's a great guy, but he has Asperger's. And there's who else? Jerron Horton was a roomie for a time. Jonathan Tomelin.
What's his name? Who melted down?
Alex. Oh, Alex. He lived. I took his room.
Yeah. Oh, you
so,
did.
Yeah, he passed the torch to me. I never lived with him.
Oh.
So yeah, he was supposed to. We agreed. I shook hands with him. I was like, yeah. And between him and Marty, I was like, yo, in January, let's have or like February, I'll move into your apartment. This isn't like July. I was like, oh, I'll take your room. And I'll take it over at that point. And then he had like a mental breakdown. And like 3 weeks later, they're like, hey, do you still want it? You know, take it now or never. And I was like, fuck.
Here we go.
Yeah. Because I was living with a black guy and a Filipino lady. It was he was an editor and she was a nurse. And it was just kind of a weird combo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The kind of black guy that he went and just married a lady from the Philippines.
Mm.
And like she's slowly bringing family over. They're all working as nurses. And they sold it as an artist community, but they hated that I had weed on me.
Damn.
Not me, but a guy I know. But
well,
yeah. So Marty's was a nice transition, but
what I wanted
it was
to
hell.
ask-
It was a nice phase, but I'm definitely over it.
Oh yeah,
I got better.
It's an end of it.
I have better standards for my living now.
Well, good. And your comedy.
It was just a commercial space in the back of like an office building.
So that's what I wanted to ask you, though. So what, like, looking at both spectrums of it, it had to help your comedy being right in a comedy club every day. Like, the days you did not want to get on stage, you could literally walk out in your boxers.
Yeah, exactly.
Comedic laughs.
I always at least got one set in, which was nice. And when the first like year I lived there, because I think I lived there for about 2 years, around there, give or take a few months. But first year I lived there, I was going up like 3 or 4 times a night, you know. And then sometimes I'd stop somewhere else on the way home from work and get up, and then I'd get back home at like 9 o'clock, and in 3 hours get like 4 sets. You know what I mean? Or like the back room was legendary.
Yeah.
There was a peak for that, like when people would just go back there and you could do like a half hour, or you could just tag team, like go 3 of you back there, do 5 minutes and just keep going back to back to back to back to back to back.
Mm-hmm.
You just get like 5 sets.
Yeah.
But it also was a huge negative in that it was a great place to hang out.
So how was it? Yeah, I mean, it had to be detrimental. Like, you come home and you just want to focus on writing and not be distracted.
No, it was nice
and
in
then
that
they're
regard.
rolling blunts on the back patio.
It was awesome because my room was there, because I could just disappear. Like, I'll come out, have 2 beers after work, and then go into my room and like write or watch a movie or have dinner, and then I come back out at like 11 and people are still hanging out. You know what I mean? It's a different crowd.
But like when you are in your, like, if I'm here writing and want to go see people, I have to go get in my car and drive to the club. Whereas like you could easily be distracted for hours when you were like, I'm gonna go take a 5-minute smoke break.
Oh yeah, and then I'll end up just like talking to Naz about like seeing aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Naz Janis, hilarious comic, but he's but yeah, I did that too much where you just stay there, but it's because it was easy. That's why it was a detriment that the place was a good hang, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it was a net positive overall. And it was a net positive, not just for me, but for everybody that like treated it well. Because I think it in itself was a test. Like, even if like you were the annoying guy that no one liked that kept coming, There was at least a respect, and you kept coming.
Yeah.
Because most people were scared of that place. Like, known comics are like, that place sucks. But it's like, then why do some of the, like, Jamar Neighbors, why does he come here?
Yeah.
Like, he's one of the
Damon Wayans
funniest
Jr.
people. He's one of the funniest. I think he's the funniest person in Los Angeles right now.
Mm-hmm.
But why does he come here if the place sucks? Or are you just a coward?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I definitely want to. I mean, because that's a unique perspective you got, man. Not many people will ever say they lived inside
It was a weird
an
time,
open
man.
mic an open mic comic, not like a legit comedy club, like a
Yeah.
comedy club legitimately made for open mic.
It was a weird time, dude. It's no, but I like it. I wouldn't trade it. All that such. But now I live in a luxury villa
Nice.
up in I don't know what it is because I get mail for North Hollywood, Studio City, and Toluca Lake, Valley Village coming soon. But yeah, I like it. It's more like a small neighborhood valley, but it's in the middle of like like Universal City and the art district of NoHo clashing.
Not far away at all.
Yeah, so I'm right in the middle of two cities that are being gentrified, so it's kind of meeting in the middle. So it's still cheap, but it's nice.
How's your spaceship coming?
It's coming, dude.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You guys hear wolf? I've got wolves. Sometimes you guys might hear them howl in the background. It's part of it.
Ooh, I need to put a guy in here. Can you pass the guys?
Yeah, I was just playing with a few.
Let's see.
Let me see. So, let's go hats off, gloves off. You guys are like
Spit.
30-some episodes deep now, still grinding along at it.
Yep.
What's been some creative blocks that you've experienced with that? Because you do have a co-host, Spencer Callender,
Yeah.
who will be on the podcast too soon.
It's nothing I didn't expect. That's why it's like I'm very trepidatious. I've been in production. Granted, I'm only 27, but I've been in production now for 10 years in like multiple jobs, and I understand what it takes to do things. You know what I mean? To make things. You know what I mean? People get ahead of themselves. They get ambitious. They fail, and then they give up. But like for example, like at comics, they'll be like, "Oh, let's shoot this as a sketch." Like, let's just you go to a doctor's office and he says this, and I'm like, "All right, do you have at least a lab coat on the smallest level? Do you have a lab coat?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I do now. But that's the thing that you don't think of. It's like, how do I know he's the doctor? Do we have a clipboard? Do we have a you know what I mean? You don't need to get a doctor's office and a bench and all that shit. But like, it's like, I wrote a sketch where these two people are on a train, and I'm like, do you know what that costs?
Right.
You like to put just things like flying by in the window,
Yeah.
if you don't know how to do that yourself, shit like that. So I'm very patient, and I try to take hurdles as they come. And Hogo it's been fun because I'm glad that I don't know, I'm passionate about the subject because it is eternal. You know what I mean? It's evergreen. We're more using news topics and people throughout history to as a launch pad to just bullshit.
Yeah.
And try and be funny.
Yeah. Because I mean, we were explaining up front, you guys give shout outs and call out news articles, people in the media.
Yeah, people that deserve it.
Yeah. It's not limited.
On both
just,
sides.
Yeah. And that's cool, man. I think one of the blocks that, as your producer, that we had encountered was from inception, we were actually producing out of Marty's.
Yeah.
And that was a
The bunker,
real
R.I.P.
creative block. Yeah, man, we lost Marty's.
Go
'cause
back, dude.
He just came in one day and was like,
Get an
"Hey,
AC.
shutting down."
Shutting down. No, we got the notice, which is actually a baller move in hindsight because they're renovating. It's going to be a coffee shop, or they're going to take down that whole plaza now or whatever. But Marty's was above a pizza place. And he told Marty, he'd been there for 20-something years. He told me, he's like, "Hey, no residents. It's not zoned." And they cited that San Francisco warehouse fire where people died. They're like, it's a new California law, commercial space living. So, which is baller on the landlord's part.
Yeah.
Where he's like, he knows that if Marty doesn't have people living there, he can't pay his rent.
The open mic.
And he has to leave.
Yeah.
Because the open mic, it was $5 a person, and you got anywhere between 2 and 90 people on a night.
Yeah.
So there's no but there's no reliability. So without residents, he couldn't pay rent, and he had to bounce. Unfortunately.
Womp, womp,
Wow, wow, wow.
How's your? So what are you working on over there?
So it's a spaceship. landing on an alien planet. He's gonna be landing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick to that. So he's landing on the beach, rolling on, landed in the water. They spec'd it out. I'm waiting. Should I make this an underwater vehicle?
Oh no, man.
All right. Anyway, they're investigating.
This doesn't continue.
This
We're
guy's
not
already
gonna. Once this ends, the building ends. So that's
This-
like
this guy.
got to 6 hours later. We're sitting here and the floor is still.
All right. So these guys just arrived on this planet, and there seems to be vegetation, life, and a bunker here. So this guy stepped off of the vessel to investigate.
Dude, you know what?
I didn't want to waste time looking for a helmet.
What if you mirrored yours?
Oh, flip it?
Flip it. And this is a fucking... I think I've just created your bunker. Because I've used all these little tribal people.
What if...
But turns out...
Wait.
There's cyborgs.
Dude, you got my...
It's definitely a visual only. So you guys, we've got video going now with single cam. Man, ideally here soon, though, we're going to get some better... I'd love to get like an aerial shot. Oh yeah, here, help yourself. Let my genius creativity spark. This is what Creative Blocks is about here.
So...
This isn't made to be a vertical wall.
No, bro.
What is this like?
It's hidden behind a waterfall. It's a
like-
secret city.
I feel like we could have made a waterfall.
How do you make a waterfall?
Man, you see that you're only limited by your imagination,
But
bro.
this is as far as I got so far, and you want me to get into the... You put a lady on my land, and you get mad I add a waterfall? Cut the frame here, and that's a beautiful waterfall.
Okay. I'm going to sit back here and work behind the waterfall.
I'm sorry I ruined yours.
Podcast. This is done. Interview over.
That's a good spaceship.
Yeah, sturdy. So,
Dude.
how long you been doing comedy?
Oh, fuck. 5 years technically, but I didn't really start doing it till like a year and a half in.
Yeah.
I was just going like once a month. You know? I was living like a 40-minute drive away, so I was just going when I could. I was working a lot. But then I changed jobs and started doing it a lot. I was waiting tables, so I was making the same amount of money like 4 nights a week, running tables and then serving eventually.
Mm.
But yeah, it's I don't know. Really, I guess like 3 years I've been giving it the respect it deserves.
Yeah.
But also like I'm coming up on like there's the disenchantment, because
do you mean?
there's like practical wants you have and like milestones
Yeah.
that I'm like, nah, I'm good. Keep my head down, keep getting funnier. You know what I mean? Because as many good sets as you have, you still have the ones where you're just like, my instincts didn't kick in there. I didn't have that safety net. I didn't, you know what I mean? There's still reality checks and like humblings.
Mm-hmm.
Humblings?
Yeah.
But
Stay humble.
yeah, so I'm just like, I got no reason to like rush anything. I knew going in. I grew up a medium artist, paints, chalks, drawing, sketch,
Yeah, yeah.
So I know, like as an athlete and like baseball, soccer, and then also like skateboarding, I understood the concept of this is going to take a long time to get good at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I went in, I was like, oh yeah, and then like obviously I came in the podcast era in the early days where it was like they're very clear, like, oh no, this is going to take you 10 to 15 years to be adequate. And I was like, all right, cool. I just need to know that. You know what I mean?
we go.
That's the milestone I need to hit. And it seems to be working mostly. It's a lot of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but at least it's mostly forward.
So, one thing I'd like to know, what's your process? How do you take an idea to stage? Like, how do you write your joke?
I don't know. I riff a lot. I like to be in the moment.
On stage or off
Well, early on, and I still do this a lot. Like it's what I would call my process is I think of a joke or I hear something or whatever. Whatever I write down that I want to be a joke that I can say on stage, I'll like either like bubble graph it or spider web or whatever it is, or like just try to brainstorm things like that, or like just write like a bunch of pages in a notebook just so that when I do go to stage, I've thought about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're at least coming from a standpoint, even though it's super rough. You're at least coming from a point of view, and not just like if you're talking about it for 3 minutes, you might contradict yourself. You know what I mean? Just establish what you actually think about the thing. You know what I mean? Because I like Dr. Phil, but I also fucking hate Dr. Phil. So which one's real? You know what I mean? And come from that point of view. I mean, as a niche subject, but I've become more like writing on stage, you know, riffing, and then becoming more of like I think it was like Bill Hicks. He was like, the materials to fall back on. Go up and be funny.
Yeah.
Fall back on your material. And I try to do more of that. Like, the bits I have, like, I've got, like, 5 years in, I've got, like, 20 minutes I'll stand by, and I could probably do 40. But I'm only going to stand by 20 of it. And then I can fill time, and I can do this and that, but that's not a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like to use them more as, like, I like having fluff and having fun, and especially in the age where everything's going digital and everything. Like, if I want to do live stand-up, I got to give somebody something they're only going to get. Even if I'm doing 2 shows tonight, I got to give them something they're only getting at each show. You know what I mean? You can sit through both shows, and it's going to be 80%, 75-80% the same. The material is going to be the same, but the filler's all different. You know what I mean? It's experience. Because why not watch this on YouTube like people are hopefully watching this? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like having just keeping like balloons, just keeping them up. Like jokes, like when I haven't done that one in a while. It's part of my holster. It's one of my ammo. You know what I mean? So just like keep it good enough, keep it hot. You know what I mean? Don't forget about it. But like go up there and like have like maybe a first few jokes. Like shows, I like it being like just like relaxed about it. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like, what's the order? What am I doing? This, and I like going up like, I've got 8 minutes, open with this, and then see where you go. I have like a showcase list. You know what I mean? Like a joke about my parents. What is it? Like a ethnic joke, and then what is the third one? Your favorite joke. That's like the Mitzi Shore combo I heard about a long time ago. But there's different versions of that. But there's the showcase. You know what I mean? Like it's this joke, this joke, this joke. You know exactly down to the like. This is 4 minutes and 52 seconds to give time on bumpers on either sides for a 5-minute set. But I don't really do set lists. Like I don't think I've ever done the same set twice outside of those. Like deliberate showcases, timed sets.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like I said, like I like having things in my holster. Because I don't know, it's like I fuck around and I'm very like shady or like seems manufactured when it's going. But when you're in a set and you go into that like flow state and you're having a good show, everything I talk about is stuff I actually give a fuck about and that I talk about with fucking while smoking weed, like on a patio somewhere doing comedy, with the comics, or like at a diner. So it's stuff I actually am interested about that I bring up in conversations. You know what I mean? So it's like it can flow anywhere. You know what I mean? There's some bits where it's like this one has to go after this one, and if I want to do this, I got to do this like 2 jokes before. Because there's like primering, and that's part of like the craft of the things you learn. Like you got to warm people up in certain regards. A little inside baseball, but there's really like I don't know. There's a fun in just like falling back and just like seeing where you go. You know what I mean? When you're in that, you're doing comedy and you're like 3 or 4 sentences ahead. Kind of in your head, just go.
Oh yeah.
Like, which way do I go? Or that would be funny. Or a joke that's like 4 minutes. You just steal a line from it because it works. You're like, fuck that whole joke. I just need to say this right here because this lady said something in the crowd. Those are the best.
It was one thing I loved about Ralphie May was like he had such a catalog of jokes where like he looked like he was just thinking of something off the whim, but it would just organically riff into a joke that he had years back.
Yeah.
And he would be so good about doing that and just being able to flow.
Well, that's a huge skill. That's like a thing that like that hurts. When you're like going on and you have to like address something that was going on in the room or like the comic before you, or you know what I mean? And then there's a clear line when you're new, whether it's like, all right, so like, oh, that was crazy, and like you riff a couple things, people are laughing, then you're like, all right, so anybody been to the laundromat? And it just dies.
Right.
They can tell you're not on the same wavelength as them. You're not being spontaneous, or like
it's manufactured.
Not even that. It's just you're not on the same vibration as them. This guy just came up and killed, and you're in your own head going, like, trying to get on your vibe, or you had something to work on, or you just wanted to survive this set. And then these people, they're just not on the vibration. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it sucks because you just have to follow a
killer.
It could be somebody that's literally the complete opposite of you, or somebody that's in, like, the same vein as you. You know what I mean? Most people are, like... Anywhere in the middle doesn't really matter, but like I'd rather not follow a loud black comic or Naz Janice. You know what I mean? Just because Naz and I was like a loud black, well dressed comic, and like they're not gonna. It's gonna be hard switching. I'm gonna have to do jokes I don't want to do. You know what I mean? I'll have to go into the craft to get them on my side. Waste a couple minutes to earn their I'm funny. But like if it's Naz, it's like, oh great, they don't want to sit through two guys that are making references to like voodoo and child pedophile cults, and comparing midgets to animals, you know. So, but like comics in between those two sides of the spectrum, I think are, I don't know, the most fun because it's easy, but they're not the ones that like make you a good comic.
You've quit building on me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm into the podcast part. We got to keep like a bell or something, like every 2 minutes.
I know I hate calling people out, but it's like, bro.
I know. I added a control panel a minute ago.
I've already built a mobile.
Oh, you know what?
Add-on over here.
Here's more steering controls. I'm into details. All right. I'm sorry. You're a big picture guy.
You know, it's fine. It happens, man.
It's a pulley.
Possibly, man. What we find in these bins,
that's cool,
is years of a childhood collection among my brother and myself.
I respect it. I like it.
You might find pieces that have teeth marks on them. I don't know. If so, we'll throw them away so the next guest doesn't see them. But
from a dog?
Nah, I'd like to tell you a dog, but it's more likely me or my brother.
That's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, but it's okay.
This one opens.
Hey, we were just talking off mic before this got started about social media, man.
What's up?
How do you find, do you have any creative blocks that you find difficulties dealing with social media as a comedian?
No, my blocks with social media is, like we talk about it and it's interesting, you know what I mean? And there is ways to like, I want to do it without fucking like selling my soul or taking it to like a scientific level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These like the algorithms make sense to a point, but it's not really like a. I don't want to be manufactured. You know what I mean? On a genuine level, but like I was saying, like you got to make people come see your live show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for that, I think a live show in the future is a bonus, especially in comedy. If I want to be a comedian, I got to make people a fan of me. And then when I come to your town, it's a bonus. You're a fan of me year round. I want you to listen to me. You know, hopefully most of the stuff I put out, audio-wise, podcast-wise. And if you're that type of person, I would appreciate I'd like to reward you by not playing a club, playing a smaller venue or like a self-rented venue where I can keep the ticket prices low and you can come see me and everybody wins. You know, you paid for my gas money or my airfare to get out there.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. And all it cost you was, you know, half the price it would have taken you to have a night out, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's the era we're coming in, but you got to be a fan of the person. You know what I mean? And in terms of social media, I'm an old soul. I talk about this with Spencer all the time, and Spencer still has problems with it, but I've given in terms of like, all right, I dedicate all Instagram. I'm just doing one social media. I'm just on Instagram, and that's it, because I wish I didn't, because I'm really fighting the fucking computer age. I'm going to be... if I have kids soon, they're going to be the ones like wearing dreadlocks in like the post-apocalyptic future movie. Like my pa taught me, we're the resistance.
How old are you, son?
I'm 27.
So, and you've already passed like the wanting to carry a phone in front of you daily vlogging, because that's now like as a 16, 17-year, I feel like that's the norm.
Well, it is now. I think I was the beginning of that generation. My generation, 26, 27, 28-year-olds now, are the people who started that. When I was like a junior, senior in high school is when the selfie stick came out.
Yeah.
You know, like that was when like kids you went to school with started YouTube channels. You know, shit like that. It's like who gives a fuck? But in hindsight now, it's just because like I'm on the younger end of an older family, apparently. So it's I don't know. I'm a man of yesteryear.
Yeah.
in terms of that stuff. But my generation is I'm really out of place in terms of that. Like all my friends are like 30 to 40 because it's just I don't know. I'm in a weird split of like in between generations.
Yeah.
And all my references are older people. So like I'm a Lego generation. My little brother couldn't imagine not having a cell phone.
Gotcha. Yeah, fucking social media, man. She's a bitch.
I remember like driving around looking for a payphone when payphones were like in neighborhoods. You remember where it's like a residential neighborhood and there's a payphone on the corner. I don't know if that's where you from, but
We had call boxes.
or just like waiting like an hour for like porn to load from the top of the screen, just like a still picture. You know?
Yeah.
Even like psychologically, like I think I'm really gonna join the resistance
I
of the
can't
robot
even-
army. Is the
Your team robot?
no, I'm against robot. Like I think it really is like not as people aren't taking it as big of an issue as it is, and it worries me. That's why don't want to give in too much. But you gotta live. You gotta operate in the new world. But it does keep me up.
What are you working on?
I'm just adding shrubbery, detail.
Fluff.
Yeah, I'm adding consoles to the
Yeah?
spaceship, like a cage.
How are we on time? Gotta love the production. You know, I've spent so many years behind camera. It was weird trying to be like, oh, now I need a producer. Luckily,
It's gonna be one of those things where a mechanic drives a bad car.
oh yeah,
He's tired of
You
working
can't-
on everybody else's car.
yeah. I don't care anymore. As long as it gets me from point A to point B.
I don't know. Nothing's sparking my interest, man. I'm looking for inspiration in this bucket. Ooh, with this. I don't know.
So did you play? I mean, so
That could be nice.
what's your Lego history?
My Lego history? Just buckets, tote buckets.
That's what you're saying. So like,
Just like yeah, like
found this bin at a yard sale.
yeah.
Here you go.
Or cousins. My mom's stepbrother
So you
was
never
more like
had-
my uncle, or he was my uncle, but he's more like my cousin. He was just shit like that. You'd get hand-me-downs, or we were big on yard sales.
Well, I've
going
literally
anywhere.
built this entire fortress over here.
What are you talking about? I built a ship
I got a ship too.
and a beach. Yeah, but that ship sucks, dude.
Whatever, man. Look at her. This bitch is made to ram.
Made to ram. It's
Yeah,
got too
look,
much
she's
surface
got a
area. It needs
wall.
to come to an angle.
She's got.
That's too
It's
much.
a he, and he's just got long hair. Sorry, I just thought it was a female based on Qui-Gon Jinn
No,
over
it
here.
needs to come to a point. Otherwise, you're just slamming a wall against a wall. It's not going anywhere.
That's what this point's for.
This guy's.
He's like a jouster.
This guy hits
see?
light speed.
Do you see how he's
Fucking light speed, dude. I don't know what to say.
I don't, man.
Light speed.
I'm gonna go ahead and just separate my base. What do you got?
Nothing of note.
The fire department of Legoland.
Dun, 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 dun. What's the next one?
Man,
Shit.
I don't know.
I dropped
Let's
one.
see. You pretty much answered the creative blocks. What, like, I mean, any creative advice you want to give? What's something like you wish, like, what's something you struggle with on the personal, like, as an artist, like on your own, like if you look at your overall artist career, where you from point A to point B of where you want to be. What
Really,
are you focused and struggling with right now?
I think it's really just do it. And like I said, with like growing up doing like sports, you know what I mean? If you want to if you can ollie, learning an ollie is crazy. And then turning that into a kickflip, like failing 10,000 times, that thing of like just like looking back and realizing how much progress you've made.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, just doing it. And then it, like, I've got plenty of things I'm all right at because I got into them for 6 months. You know what I mean? And I spent too much money on like supplying up, and then I just dropped the hobby.
Oh yeah, story of my life. Bro.
With stand up, I've been sticking with. You know what I mean? And there's some things that like some of those hobbies have helped in stand up. You know what I mean?
Like what?
Drawing is huge. Like, although that's not something I picked up and dropped, but like, that's just a skill I have.
Yeah.
That my entire life I loved drawing, and then I got into acrylics, and then like eventually found my home, and like after like doing it and getting good at specific things and understanding, being able to do something technically well, being able to paint something medieval style, and then learning, you're like, no, now I'm gonna do a goofy cartoon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In your own style, knowing it's non-derivative mostly. We all stand on the shoulders of giants, but really just like doing something you want to do and this and that, and then that falling apart by the time I was 22. So you're just like, oh wait, this skill I put in the hibernation for a couple years is now helps me to make original flyers.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Or just like, even for this podcast, just knowing like basic graphics, composition, color theory, shit
Right.
like that.
Yeah,
helps.
I mean, we were talking, photo editing. You still got to know that shit.
Yeah, well,
Unless
part
you're
of that
trying to
is like,
outsource it.
yeah, like that's why I use those examples of like basic things, foundational things of composition, color, framing, because those are, I don't know, static.
Yeah.
But the like the program, I went to school on like Creative Suite 5 and Toon Boom, and then like you don't pay attention for a year, and you're shit out of luck. You're not going to be able to hold your water in a job.
Dude, I do. My day gig, I work in the tech industry mostly with entertainment, the entertainment world, and I find myself a lot of times with these designers, especially with these studios, they'll have like Photoshop 2009 or something like CS6, and be like, oh, it doesn't work anymore, and then you update them. And it's so new that like they'll come back complaining like, but wait, everything's different.
Oh yeah, like, well, what was it? Well, like Windows XP was pretty close to, what was it, Windows 7?
But then
They kind of
Windows
just
10,
updated it. Yeah, and then they updated the new one's like it's a tiles. There's no like start.
Cortana.
Yeah, that shit is weird, and I can imagine like because that happened because we were always behind. Our computers were always backed up when we were little. So you get on like a school computer and you're like, I got no idea what to do.
What is this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean it was essentially probably the same boat in Kentucky. You get introduced. That's what some of these fucking what are they, magnet schools that they give iPads. Magnate school. See, they're not attracting people like me.
yeah. That's weird. You don't know what the expensive school's called.
But they give fucking like iPads to the
mispronouncing Magnate
preschoolers.
School. It has its own
It
poetic
happens.
justice.
Oh shit, that was way too top heavy. This poor horse.
Oh, can
cannot
we attach
support
this
anymore.
to somewhere in yours?
Yeah, we're back.
Oh no, wait. Here. No, wait. Sorry, Lego time, guys. Oh, right here. Wait, back it up.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got the video of this one, but yeah, man, ideally anybody out there that wants to just donate video camera to this podcast, come at me. But like a nice aerial camera to cut to.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. Here, wait.
I am going to, guys, while Mitch sits here and connects our creations together, I am making creative blocks, its own Instagram, and I'll start posting like these. I'm going to take photos of these creations. I've already got, I got Byron's and I've got Rogers too. I'm going to start posting them just so I don't spam my own Instagram, So keep an eye on that. So, Mitch, anything else?
I was really just going to build something to go in this observatory now that I connected them.
I'll get a little boat here. It can just be drifting through.
Oh, a canal.
Yeah. Boom.
Here. Boom. Wait, pick yours up.
No, that's not going to fit.
No, we got to put them underneath.
Here, no. Here, wait, get this. Do this. I was like, we got these little blue bases.
Pick yours up. Put it on that one. I'll put the boat in there.
And the boat's flooding.
Little boat boy.
Okay. Success, sir. Boom.
Wish I had more water.
Yeah.
I was drinking it too much.
No, it's okay. We're done.
I gotta
We're in.
pee.
I just want to know, where can they find you?
At Mitchell Phillup, MITCHELLFILLUP on, like I said, Instagram only. If you message me on Facebook, I'll check it every 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, I don't have Facebook. Hats off, gloves off.
Oh, at HogoPod, at no Roots of Laughter, at HogoPod.
Yeah.
At HogoPod, Mitchell and Spencer. That's where we give updates. Send at Robot Spencer your dick pics. Unsolicited pictures of your penis, somebody else's penis, a random penis. You Google, find a penis. Just send them to at Robot Spencer on Instagram. I'm out.
Okay, guys. At Beam Jeremy Beam, one of the two, on all things social media. Creative Blocks is coming its own Instagram, guys. This video, if you're watching, you already found it. It's on my YouTube at Jeremy Beam. Keep up. Until next time. Bye.
Thanks for having me.